Hi Aquarius, welcome to your May 2023 Astro Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. But I do advise that if you're only going to watch one, make sure it's your ascendant because it's likely to be the most accurate of the three. With that said, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm going to pop these to the side. Those will be for your moons. These will be for your weeks of the month, and these will be for the bulk of your read. So the first transit that I want to talk about is on 8th of May. Venus, the lady of luck, pleasure, money, resources, worth, value, and you know, even love, is coming into your 6th house of your day-to-day habits and or routines. So when Venus comes into your 6th house for a while, she's bringing harmony to your daily life, to your routines, to your health, and even to your physical body. So she's helping you. If you've got a health regime that's on the go at the moment, it suddenly becomes easier, or you start to see results. If you've been working really hard on getting your body or your health up to a certain standard, Venus coming into the 6th house is absolutely going to help you with that. It could be a really great time to redouble efforts on a fitness journey if you're on one, looking after your body, or creating a routine or a schedule for yourself that's not only easy to follow, but it's actually effective. Like, this is a really great time for bodily stuff, especially things around like your, you know, improving your health and fitness, but also improving your image. So that could be really exciting as well. Now, she's also, because the 6th house, Venus can bring healing as well. And so in the 6th house, this is literally the house of health, you know, and your physical body. So she can absolutely bring that. Now, especially to things like frayed nerves, if you've had like a bit of an anxious energy going on for a while, this can absolutely help you undo that. And on the other side of this, remember the 6th house is the house of your work. Your day-to-day grind, as they say. So this could make your work not only easier to fulfill, you might be able to get through it, you know, quicker, easier. Maybe it looks better, like you're doing better work, and it's coming easier. It's flowing, it's harmonious, it's a lot more sort of natural feeling. It could also, because the 6th house is also enemies, so this could kind of soften. If you've had enemies, if you know there are people that are working at cross purposes to you, especially within like the work sphere, etc., this could actually help, could see them, maybe not necessarily, you're not going to suddenly be friends and start holding hands singing Kumbaya, but you're definitely noticing that maybe things aren't as intense with that, especially if you've had like angsty kinds of situations. Things are just becoming easier, lighter and more enjoyable on that day-to-day level. Now, Venus rules sweetness and sweet things. She loves chocolate, cakes, all of those nice sort of luxurious sweet things. So for that reason, this next few weeks, you could really feel that need for a sugar binge. And I urge you to kind of just be mindful that this is a possibility, because it is coming through the 6th house, and your sensitivity to sugar and things such as carbs, etc., may be a little bit higher. Finally, as the ruler of your 4th house of home, family, property, and the hearth, let's say, and your familial energies, and your 9th house, this could be a gift of some sort from a family member that comes in. If you've got family members from overseas, maybe good news comes from or through them. It might just be, you know, news that comes through a family member, and it might also be that a work colleague or a love connection is forged through the workspace or sphere. So on this, you've got the Four of Swords, so just take your time to enjoy it. One thing that I always say about Venus is a lady, darling. Okay, she likes things easy, she doesn't do drama, she likes it easy, she likes things clean, she likes things, you know, luxurious and well thought out and put together and all of that. And, you know, she's definitely partial to the beauty. So get your beauty and your health regimes in check right now. Now, you've got the Four of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, 2 fours represents insomnia. So if you've had problems or issues with sleeping, this transit could absolutely help that. And look at that. What? I'll take it. I will take it. I will take it. I will take it. So, you know, obviously, as many of you know, I'm an Aquarius sun. So this is in some way, shape or form relevant for me. That Sun card with the Four of Pentacles does suggest that a gift is coming into the home. Now, if you've got children already, this could be maybe one of your children just really brings you beautiful news, or just does something that really makes you happy or makes you smile. Another way that this could show up with that Four of Swords, this is you just taking time to really fortify the structure of your body, but also your internal scaffolding, as we like to say. And with the Sun card here, Venus is definitely bringing you a gift of some sort, because she, you know, she is gifts and pleasurable experiences. Now, on the 11th of May, the moon, our illustrious Lunar, is coming into the sign of Aquarius, and she's going to conjunct Pluto and oppose Mars in a dissociated opposition. So it's not an opposition by sign, it's an opposition by aspect, right? She's within like it's like 5-6 degrees, but because this is such an intense energy, I felt like it needed to be mentioned, especially because this is happening in your first house. The moon is meeting Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. It's going to oppose that Mars. And as if that wasn't enough, this is the last quarter square of this moon, which means that there's going to be some kind of crisis point or intensity that requires your immediate sort of action and attention. Now, because it's happening in your sign, there's no getting around the fact that you might feel this as more intensity. You might feel that your feelings are maybe for you a lot closer to the surface. Maybe people are saying to you, like, you know, you're really broody or moody, or like, what's going on with you at the moment? The Moon-Pluto connection is intense feelings. So there could be something that you're feeling on a really deep level. Now, it could potentially be a healing crisis of some sort, or potentially a work crisis, because the moon rules your 6th house of Cancer. And obviously Pluto rules your 8th house of Scorpio, your 10th house, sorry, of Scorpio, which is your career. So there's definitely something going on in the work sector around this time. Now, for a transit, especially for the moon, you know, anything with a lunar transit, but some of the big, you know, the slightly bigger ones as well, I always say look at the day before, the day of, and the day after. That's like the transit window, especially for like the inner or the personal planets, or our illustrious Lunar. Now, the other thing that I've got here for you as well, it's likely to be in terms of family as well, possibly in the personal sphere, potentially in the work life. And, you know, it might be a work situation that doesn't really allow much leeway. So it's kind of like you just have to deal with what's in front of you there and then. It could also be that your work life or career face off in some way, shape or form. So there's that sort of 4th house, 10th house thing going on as well in some regard. You know, we're coming up to the Scorpio eclipse at that point, which is going to be right at the beginning of the month. So, you know, we're closing out that cycle slowly but surely. To clarify on this, you've got the Four of Cups. So what do we see here? 3 fours. 3 fours is a subject for reflection, which means you are deeply ruminating over something. Around this lunar transit, when the moon conjuncts Pluto, there'll be something potentially that you're finding it very hard to let go of in terms of a specific type of feeling, with the Ace of Cups, right, and the Fool card. So one way that this could potentially show up that I hadn't actually thought about in terms of the astrology, this could be a really intense connection. Maybe you meet someone or you connect with someone potentially through your work, or maybe somebody that you meet, you know, that you just, maybe you feel fixated on them, or maybe they're fixated on you. It could just be like a really intense connection of some sort. And obviously, because this is opposing that you know, that energy of Mars, and obviously Mars at some point is very soon, at the end of this month, actually is going to come into the sign of Leo. That's in your relationship house, and then they really will face off. I'll talk about that later, but this is really interesting because it suggests that something arises that you either don't expect, or you kind of, you're just a bit like, I don't really know how to deal with this. I just know that I have to. I mean, these are great cards. So maybe whatever this thing is comes up really intensely. You look at it, you work with it, and then you move beyond it. But it is in the first house. So something about that transit is definitely going to change something for you in a very big way. Now, on the 16th of May, Jupiter, the Lord of abundance and healing and blessings and, you know, expansion and growth and happiness and laughter and joy, is coming into the 4th house. Now, this is going to be a very welcome balm, I believe, because we've had those eclipses, right, bouncing back and forth through the 4th and the 10th house. Those have been very, very intense for a lot of us, right? And if you're anything like me, so my ascendant is Leo and my sun sign is Aquarius. So I've been, whichever way it's happened, I've been smashed by these eclipses. I can fully well guarantee you. They have been no joke, and I am so over this axis of eclipses for sure. Now, that being said, because Jupiter represents healing, it's coming into that 4th house. So it's going to put a bit of a soothing balm, right? We've got the last eclipse in the sign of Taurus, which for you is your 4th house. So this is like the last of it, right? And it's smoothing over that. Well, I say it's not this eclipse. It will be the eclipse that's in October. That's the last one in the 4th house. But even still, Jupiter being there is going to offer some kind of healing for you. This could be because your 4th house is also your deep emotional self, you know, your deep emotional makeup. This could be some kind of healing at the deepest part of your emotional self, especially in that 4th house. This is an energy of light, opportunities, abundance, excuse me. It's also a possibility to grow your home. Jupiter moving into the 4th of home, property, family, real estate. This could be that you get a bigger home. It could be that your family expands. It doesn't have to be that you're the one having children, although for a select few of you, it's probably possible. You know, this is, and these aren't even the cards for the Jupiter transit, but that's possible. It could just be that the family grows. A sibling has a baby. You know, maybe you get pets, you're welcoming pets into the home, etc. All very possible. Now, Jupiter loves children. So for that reason, this could literally expand the family or bring more children into the home. Well, I say potentially, it will probably provide you the resources that you need in order to enhance or to expand your home, because Jupiter rules your 2nd house of Pisces and your 11th house of Sagittarius. And both of these, right, 2nd house is your money, the 11th house is the gains from your business or your social status and career. So this can be very, very nice. If you work from home or with homes or with property or real estate, this can be very good for you, especially after, you know, the eclipse energies that are bouncing back and forth at the moment. I think you can agree that whatever blessings we get, we'll be grateful for. For this, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups literally represents conception. You've also got the Fool card here. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, who's all about proliferation, someone getting pregnant, with the Page of Pentacles, right? There's no escaping that. With the Sun card, with the Fool, with the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and these two aces in specific, right? Someone getting pregnant over this transit, for sure. Another way that this shows up for you as well is some kind of personal side hustle, personal business. There's new life being breathed into a business endeavor, and your money and your resources are going to grow over this next 12 months because the Jupiter will come into the sign of Taurus and it's going to be there for 12 months. Finally, on the 21st of May, Mars moves into Leo, and this is where that opposition that I was talking about starts to get real, okay? There'll be no ignoring this one. This is definitely an intense moment, I'm sorry to say. Now, Mars coming into the 7th house can see us really, you know, Mars is energy, action, passion, excitation, irritation, inflammation. It's all of those things, right? It's fiery heat energy. Coming into the 7th house, this could see you more proactive about your relationships, your partnerships, whether they're personal, professional, or platonic. That's all 7th house stuff. And as a result of this, one of the things that I will say, right, is Mars is a severing energy and a cutting. So sometimes it can remove. If there are connections, partnerships, collaborations, personal, professional, platonic, that you've actually wanted to get away from or get rid of or release from your life, this transit will help you do it. Now, you know, that's the lighter side of this. Because it's opposing Pluto, it's likely to be very explosive or potentially explosive, maybe just really intense or, you know, really powerful in its feeling. Pluto is in effect the final word. So I am expecting this to end some kind of connection for a lot of you. And, you know, because Pluto's involved, there's probably not any coming back from this. Now, that being said, Mars is in a perfect sextile to the Sun on the same day, which is, you know, a fellow air sign. So for you, this is in your 5th house of pleasure, romance, joy, fun, self-expression and creativity. There's a newfound sense here of some kind of, well, yeah, there's an opportunity for you to delve into your creativity and maybe something that you're wanting to create. Maybe even, you know, if you have a partner or you're in a relationship, this could be hard conversations, etc., talks over children. You know, if you're in a relationship or a relationship comes to an end at this time, maybe you're having hard talks around what are we going to do with the kids, what do they need, etc. It's also providing you enough energy, anger, and frustration to start making shit happen, right? Whether this is on a personal project, for some of you it's probably going to be, whatever the case might be. For this, you've got the World card. So there's definitely an ending, a completion, a culmination here for sure. With the Moon card, right? So this is somebody potentially either from your deep past or someone that's been a part of your world for quite some time. And then you've got the Hanged Man, right? I am going to tell you straight up, even though, you know, Mars and Pluto are very much what you see is what you get, your emotions and the intensity of the situation have the potential to trick or to fool you at this time. Just ride it out, right? The 22nd through to about the 28th of May. Take your time, take a step back. Feel what you feel, right? Nobody has the right, no matter what their skill or their discipline or whatever it might be, to tell you how to feel. I'm not telling you how to feel. What I'm saying is acknowledge how you feel how you feel, but don't let that make the decisions for you, because the chances are you could end up being in a space where it's like, I made this decision while I was completely fucked up, you know, in my mind, in my emotions, in my etc. You know, own yourself. Don't let this energy, you know, work you in that way. All right. So for your first week of the month, you've got the Hermit card. So definitely taking things back to basics here in this first week of May to really understand, okay, you know what? This is the journey that I'm on. This is where it's likely to take me. And this is what I want to get out of it. I feel like for a lot of you, you're clarifying something at that base level for this, you know, for this first week. For the second week, you've got the Judgment card, right? So as we come into that Moon conjunct Pluto, something here is coming to its final hurrah, right? Like this is where you're spurred into action for something and it's like, okay, where do I go from here? You're clarifying this for yourself And potentially some of you, this might even be taking a literal trip down memory lane. So maybe you go back to the place that you used to live, maybe you go to your parents' house because that's where you grew up. You know, maybe you're called to go and see an uncle or an aunt or somebody. It's almost like the travel that you're doing, it's not necessarily for you, but you are going to a place that is very familiar to you, probably from your like younger or older years. Then you've got the Hanged Man, right? So as we come into that third week of May, that Mars opposite Pluto energy, right, it's gonna be real. So that Hanged Man, yes, it's a card of waiting, patience, stillness, hang back, acknowledge how you feel how you feel, talk to friends or family or trusted confidants about how you feel, but don't let how you feel make the decisions for you at that time, because it's going to be really easy to do. And once you've let the cow out, there's an old Indian proverb that says, once you let the cow out of the barn, you can't stop it from trampling the pretty fields. Right? That is about as succinct as I can make it. And then finally, look, you got the World card again, right? There is, so this fourth week of May, a grand ending, completion or culmination. But the thing that I love most about the World card in this deck, it's the universe. Isn't that? It's just so beautiful. And if you can't really see it, but there's like faces and things in the mountains of the thing. One of the things that I love about the World card, and I've been talking about this a lot recently, is when you level up, you're at the bottom of the new level. And that's why it feels weird and hard, and you feel like, I'm struggling, I'm not moving forward. And it's like, well, you can't move forward yet because you've only just got onto this new plateau. So take the moment, take the win, acknowledge that you've had a win, and just know that this is the bottom rung of that next level. And eventually you'll be at the top of that one next. And then for your moons, so you have the Taurus new moon in your fourth house of home, property, family. This is a development on that, you know, on that sort of home material front in some regard, or potentially even with the family. And for this, you've got the gate 24 and returning, which is literally, yes, it's about returning, but it's also about closing out a cycle. This is out, you know, and I find this really interesting because of the whole thing with the eclipses. Yes, the eclipse in May is a Scorpio eclipse, but it's still in that same axis, and it's the last one that we'll have in Scorpio for another 9-10 years. And then look, right? You've got the butterflies, and that represents an understanding of where you've come from, where you've been. Where do you come from? Your family, right? Your heritage, your fourth house. So you're having a fourth house new moon. Beautiful, really beautiful. And then the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, which for you is in the 10th house. So you're having activations across this fourth house, 10th house axis yet again. But that gate 28 and possible, the full moon in your career sector, I think this is the final payout for all the hard work, the hard shit that we've had to go through, the challenges, the issues, the tears, the fights, the whatever it might have been that's come up. This gate 28 shows you not only what is possible now within your career, but because it's an eclipse, okay, yes, you lose the light for a moment, and technically it's a malefic event, etc., but it is a full moon, an amplified full moon. And so for that reason, I think it gives us a glimpse into our future to understand what is possible, and ultimately to know that we can achieve it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic May. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.